Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the T's in the lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, give it a stretch. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. All right, welcome back. Hopefully that last work session was a productive one for you. For me, pretty good. I'm actually going to talk about. So again, I'm working on this project, and shouts to anti-gravity. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to play around with Google's. You know what? Let me just we'll show you. We spoke about it before, but I'm gonna take you down a journey real quick of what I just went through, and let's go ahead and start that journey. So all the links for the things I'm going to show, I'm going to put them so they'll be next to the recording of this video on untilit.works. So if you ever run into the same issue, you will know like where to go, I guess, if you happen to come into the same prompts. All right, so let me share my screen. I should probably just share the whole. I'm just going to share it one at a time. All right, so this is anti-gravity, right? Pretty dope. Experience liftoff with the next generation IDE. All right, so basically, I've been using this to kind of like scaffold out projects. So I wonder, wait, how long is this video? Let's see if this will just kind of go over it really quickly. It's probably better than what I could come up with.
Every breakthrough in model intelligence for coding encourages us to rethink what development.
Okay, now, yeah, we've seen this already. Okay, no, I'm looking for something that just. All right, well, basically, Google Anti-Gravity is our agentic developer platform, evolving the IDE, which IDE, internal development environment, something like that, into the agent-first era. So basically, it's AI in your code editor, all right? And so you can like talk to it. It's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. So an AI IDE, too many letters, core. Google Anti-Gravity's editor offers tab auto-completion, cool, natural language code commands, and a configurable and context-aware configurable agent. And so you can like ask it questions and it'll go off and like create things, and it quote unquote like thinks about what you're asking it to do, and it comes like with the plans, like implementation plans and like workflows and all this other stuff. So it's pretty dope. So it's almost like you're managing a coder, like a programmer, like a web developer. I don't know how I feel about that as a web developer, but it's kind of interesting. I'm using it to, well, I'll talk about what I'm using it for. So I've been using this thing, and it's interesting, right? So if you want to check it out, I posted a link to it. You can check it out in your we've spoken about this before, and you can check it out. It'll be next. That's pretty cool. I like the animation with the dots. That's pretty dope. And a bunch of stuff. All right, cool. Oh, and I had an issue with Nano Banana in Google Anti-Gravity. It keeps telling me you can't create images. Or I know you can create images. You did it before. And then something happened. I don't know. I'm on a pro plan. I don't know why it didn't work. I don't know. But I sent a message to some folks, so hopefully they got that worked out. I don't know. But I like the website. It's very nice. Okay, so with that being said, I have this website that I've created a long time ago. Sure, it's instead. So this is my website, Dwayne.in. It goes to doingstuff.in. I have a shortener. So I'm adding it to the list of links here. And it's basically like a travel journal. You know what I'm saying? Because as part of my job, I get to travel to different places and speak with different developers, which is pretty dope. It's kind of amazing. And I wanted to all those memories and everything, right? And so I created this site. So I did it like a few years ago, and it's still alpha. I have not really changed anything. So like it says, welcome to my super alpha release of a site to chronicle my travels. And you can like suggest stuff. So if you're like, hey, like I was in Barcelona, Spain, I need to take that down. And you can like make a suggestion. You know what I'm saying? And it'll, no. And so you'll be able to like suggest stuff, right? Cool. Back home. Now, there's like an about and a shop and all that stuff, right? So the way the site works, I have this map in the background, right? And it's using Leaflet.js. Shouts to the good folks at Leaflet, and OpenStreetMap. Shouts to the good folks at OpenStreetMap. And so basically, like you kind of like scroll through the different places I've been to. So this is the very first one at Code Mash 2020 in Ohio. Good times, good times. So my very first one there, right? And let's see. So yeah, I like to take 360 photos. So here's a very young me going to my very first like event as a developer advocate. Oh, the times. All right, and then there's a bunch of different stuff here. Like I like to take like random videos and things of that nature and photos. This is broken because this was like a blog post, but the blog didn't allow me to like embed it or something like that. I don't know. Terrible. But then this, I remember this very well. I rented a car and drove out to the place Sandusky, and went to the hotel, went to sleep, woke back up, super dark. I was like, why is it so dark? It's like 7 a.m, and I had ice on the windshield. And luckily, the folks at the car rental spot, they gave me like a scraper, because I guess that's apparently what you do. And so I had to scrape it off. It was terrible. It was terrible. Neither here nor there. So, and that's like on the inside. I think I have a video of me scraping it off. Look at that. And then I was like, what? This is terrible. And yeah, here's like me video scraping it off. All right. Neither here nor there. So what I wanted to do, right? So I have this other application that I'm creating. And so you can kind of see the way the map works. So like I click for a destination, it zooms out, and it kind of like, they call it like fly to the next location, and a little pop-up pops up on top, right? And then like you can see I have the different, this is, since I've been here already, I have this thing where continue where you left off, because before it was going to the beginning, and if it was like, if I have a bunch of photos, you have to like scroll through all over again. So I added this so that I could start off where I left off, so I can say like yes, and it takes me to where I left off last. So this is the hotel I was in Dallas. Cool spot. It had my name on the screen and everything too. It's like, oh, this is pretty dope. All right, neither nor there. So the whole point is that I'm able to kind of like go from place to place. All right. And worked very great. I love this thing. You know what I'm saying? I still use it. I'm not changing this. But on my next project that I'm working on, I want to do something similar. It's for a different like use case, but it'll still fit. And so what I wanted to do, instead of having like the Leaflet.js and the OpenStreetMaps, I thought it'd be cool to have, instead of like a 2D map, have like a 3D map, right? And so I'm gonna post a link to this here. I wanted to do something different originally, but so I was trying to do it in anti-gravity. I'm like, hey, here's my idea, blah, blah, blah. That's when I was running into issues about it creating the different stuff, like the different assets that I wanted. So I was like, all right, never mind. I'm just going to come up with this other thing. So that's why I was like, all right, I remembered I had that travel site. I was like, you know what? It'd be cool, instead of having a 2D background, it'd be a 3D background. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is when you go to the next place, it will like show it. And I wanted to kind of like fly to it. Not necessarily fly. I don't know. I still have to work on it. But I wanted to go to the next location and then do like a fly around, they call it, which is like a 360 around the point that I'm interested, the point of interest. And so I was like, all right, let me see what's up with the Google 3D maps. All right. And so I'm scrolling through. I'm like, all right, this looks cool. This looks nice. This could work. And then to my surprise, was it this one? They actually have a web component. GMP Google Map Platform Map 3D. And so I was like, oh, that's dope. So they actually have a web component where you can just drop in the map. Pretty cool. And then they have this script here. So because the browser's not going to know what to do with GMP-MAP-3D. That's not a normal thing that browsers run into. And so they have like this JavaScript here where it will load everything so that the browser knows what to do with it. And yeah, so then you have this thing here, and you put in your API key, and it's like beta, and then libraries there. So it kind of loads everything it needs for this GMP map 3D web component to know what to do. All right, so you just do that, and then bam, you basically have this. All right, pretty dope. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, there's that, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. For whatever reason, anti-gravity went, I guess, did like the older way, which is like you have to instantiate the thing and then do some other stuff, but and you have like the ID map and all this other stuff. So I was like, nah, let's go ahead and use this. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. Cool. Let's go ahead and use that. It's a lot cleaner, basically, right? Now, like I mentioned, I wanted to kind of be able to control the map to where it will fly to a place. When it gets to the destination, I wanted to do like a 360 around the point, right? And so you can control the map and area and camera, right? So that's pretty dope. I'm gonna post a link to this, which I am not sharing the screen. Share that tab. So here's this. I'm going to add this link here. All right, cool. So now, so you see you have the map here. Cool. We can control the map and there in camera. So like I mentioned, I wanted to go to the place and I want to do a 360. All right. So you can restrict the map bounds, restrict the camera. Cool. Now, preset camera paths. See, here's that fly to, like I mentioned before. So fly camera to animation flies to the map center to a specific destination. And then fly camera around animation rotates around a point on the map, the specified number on the map. It rotates around a point on the map, the specified number of revolutions. I guess the number of times it revolves around it that number of times. All right, cool. So fly to, what's dope is, again, since it's a web component, when you want to get a reference to the map, it's just like you're getting a reference to any other element, which is pretty dope. So you get query selector, the GMP map 3D. All right. And then you kind of like, you're waiting for the map 3D to library to load and everything before you go ahead and do that fly camera too. All right. That function. And then you have the end camera. So this is like your camera settings. All right. And then this is how long you want it to last to fly there. All right. Now fly around, right? This right here, this kind of like threw me. So this camera thing here, it never really tells you what that is. It kind of tells you like here, sort of like you can see here, here's that fly to camera, which is this information here, right? And so they just set that as a variable, all right, as fly to camera. And then they use that here as well. So that's when I was like, wait, what is camera? I'm like, what is that? And I saw someone else is like the what was it? The whatever you put into the actual camera. I was like, that doesn't really help me. But then seeing this, I'm like, all right, cool. They just made it a variable and they just put it there. All right, so cool. Now, thing is that I was looking at this event that's supposed to be fired, because what this does, you can combine the animations. So what it'll do is fly to the spot, and then it will rotate around the spot. And that is exactly what I wanted to do. I'm like, oh, this is dope. And so basically copy and paste it in there. You know what I'm saying? Again, I had to fix this fly to camera thing or whatever. Cool. So now my application, it's flying to the spot, but it's not firing this event for it to be able to show the card that I want and to do the fly around. I'm like, that's weird. Why is that not working? So that was yesterday, right? And anti-gravity is like, oh, it kept setting up these like event listeners to like test others things, and like, just stop. And I think that's why my battery like died. I was like, just stop. I'll figure this out. And so going through some stuff. Now, I was searching for this GMP animation end. I was like, why is this not firing? Right. And so through a bunch of searches, it was like, well, hey, try this other thing. So I went to this website, this best practices website. So I made it to this place here. I'm gonna post a link to this. I'm like, oh, cool, a best practice site. So it kind of like helped me optimize everything. So that's dope, right? And so scrolling through here, right? There was an event. Let's see, where is it? I gotta search for it. Study. All right, here we go. So yeah, so when you load the map, it has an event. So like the search, when I was searching, it was like, hey, you can listen for GMP hyphen steady state. I'm like, okay, cool. That might be an alternative to the animation end thing that wasn't working, right? So then I click this. I'm like, all right, cool. It's going to take me to this other spot. And so this is like the references. Let me share this tab instead. Oh, stop. All right, so I'm going to copy and paste this so you can check this out as well. All right, so now I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can go and look for the steady state, right? Because that's what it says here. It should be called GMP hyphen steady state. Dope. All right, cool. So let me go back to where it linked me to and try to find GMP, because here's the events, all the events you can listen for. I'm like, oh, this is very handy. And so events, I'm looking for GMP hyphen steady state because that's what the other thing said. That is not here. That's not here at all. As you can see, GMP hyphen steady state is not here. There's a steady change, which I think is what maybe it meant. Maybe it's changed. Like the actual variable name, maybe it's changed. The event name, maybe. I'm not sure. But looking through the list, I saw something that looked familiar. GMP hyphen animation end. Animation end being one word. Whereas before in this tab right here is GMP hyphen animation hyphen end. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm wondering if it's because the name has changed or something from animation hyphen end to animation no hyphen end. I wonder if that was the issue. So I go back into my code, remove the hyphen, and it works. So there was that. Now I'm, being a good steward of the internet because I know how it is. You know what I'm saying? I have to keep documentation up to date too, and things change. And sometimes things get lost. You know what I'm saying? So they have a section, I think, towards the bottom where you can issue tracker. So something wrong, send us a bug report. So I'm going to do that in the next break, in the next work session. So, I want to, just in case if anybody else ever runs into the same issue, I want to make sure that they know that you can get it fixed. So 2 things, the hyphen end, that hyphen needs to go away in the animation end. And then also there is no steady, what was it called? Steady state. Where'd I go? Yeah, there is no steady. Yeah, here. There is no steady state thing. It's steady change. So we'll see. And someone file those, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's always good to, kind of like, let me stop sharing my screen so I can get you all out of here. It's always, it's always good to leave a place better than when you came. You know what I'm saying? That's my motto. And so I came across this. I'm going to let them know so that they can also go ahead and fix it. Because I know I'm always appreciative when folks will let me know if they run into an issue. You know what I'm saying? And plus they're using web components. Of course, I want to make it better. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Now, let me get y'all back to work so I can get back to work and file these issues. And, but yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to send y'all off with some traveling music. This right here is an artist that goes by the name of Anthony Cruz, aka A Butter. The track's called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. See you 15 minutes after the hour. Till then, I wish you much productivity. And I hope if you find any bugs, you find solutions to them, and then you let the people know that you found out what was wrong so you can help them out. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Anthony Cruz, aka A Butter. Thank you. All right, y'all be easy. Peace.
I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there. When a brother had nowhere to turn to, you were there. And I feel like, hey, and everybody says, hey, we spread love like, hey. I want to say thank you for holding on. When brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I wanna say thank you for being there when a brother had nowhere to turn to. You were there, and I feel like hell. And everybody says hell. We spread love like hell. I wanna say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel